Hi everyone, I'm sharing yet another card with the Poinsettia Petals collection, and this one is mostly focusing on the paper, which is called Poinsettia Place and is being discontinued and is going to be on sale starting on December 8th. So if you can still grab this paper, please do. It's going to be I think 30% off, and I think it'll go quickly, so be sure to check it out. And I want to point out a couple fun things about the paper, and that is that one of the dies from the Poinsettia die collection, here it is, really fun dies. One of them, this one here, actually cuts out flowers from some of the designer series paper. Now the designer series paper has lots of different patterns obviously, but one of the flowers, I think it's this one, uses, did I get it right? I did, the die to cut out the pattern, and that's really fun. So I wanted to show just kind of quickly a good way to get the most use out of your paper, and I'm running out. I've used most of my pack, but it's a really nice pack of paper, great for this time of year. There's poinsettias, but there's also some basic patterns on the back, so if you've gotten past Christmas and haven't used it all up yet, you've got some nice background. Here's holly on one side, but there's just an old olive pattern on the back, and there's another holly, there's another poinsettia. Anyway, lots of really pretty papers, and I'm focusing mostly on this one here because I want to show you how to cut out. As you can see, it cuts out this poinsettia flower, and then I'm using this pattern, same paper, different pattern pack, as my background, and I'm going to combine these two to make this card. And I want to just point out that, you know, a 12 by 12 sheet of paper always has a side. So some of the flowers get cut off, and that's kind of a bummer. And I like to use them anyway. And what I do is I will say to myself, like this one still has the centerpiece. So I'll go ahead and take that and just cut out that center flower. So I'm still going to get some use. So yes, you have to cut yourself. And I don't mind cutting things out. I kind of find it relaxing. If there's a die, I will use it. But if there's not a die, I don't let that deter me. I'm going to use it anyway. Now I saw somebody on I think Pinterest even cut out these sprigs and these little pine cones. And I will do that occasionally, but I did not do that this time. So she had a lot more patience than me. Or maybe she's got an electronic cutter, I don't know. I do not have an electronic cutter. I like to spend my stamping money on stamps and paper. So I don't have a lot of fancy tools, but I think a pair of scissors, especially a nice good sharp pair of scissors, will do the trick. Okay, so I will use the flowers that are cut off for things like this. Another thing I will do is I will still cut out a flower that's even without the centerpiece, and what I'll do with that is I will tuck it behind. So for example, this just makes the image even bigger, and this flower here, it's a half a flower. I never use a full flower if it's going to be mostly hidden anyway. I save those for the front. So this is a half a flower, as is this one. This one was almost a full flower, but the edge of the paper was like right there. So I went ahead and tucked it behind, so it looks like I used a full flower, but I did not. I used a cut flower. And here it would be where I pop up something like that. So I will be doing that on my card that we make together. And then another way I like to use the half flowers, something like this. It doesn't have a full center or a full back, but I still use that, and I would use that someplace like this. So I've got it on the inside of my card, kind of coming off the edge. And this one was barely there. I mean, that was mostly gone. That flower barely existed. So I would still even use that one, because I think, you know, just use all the pieces that you can. So here's my barely there, so that was this one on a different sheet, like that. So let's put together this card. I couldn't decide if I liked the ivory background, very vanilla, or the old olive background, and I kind of feel that I like the very vanilla background. It's a little brighter, and so I'm going to make another one like that, but I'm going to change up the inside, because what I liked about the inside is that I liked the matting that's around here because I like the flowers coming out from behind the matting. So we're going to kind of combine these two. So there's very little stamping on here, just the Merry Christmas. And so let's go ahead and put this together. I'm starting with a base of Very Vanilla. And then I've cut 2 pieces of soft suede. One is going to go on the inside, one's going to go on the outside. So I'm going to go ahead and start layering the front. Now this is just a sheet of Designer Series paper cut 1/4 inch smaller. So my cardstock, or my card base, goes 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So that means this is 5 1/4 by 4, and then this piece is 5 by 3 3/4. So it's just kind of descending sizes. Okay. And then I already went and cut out some flowers. Here is what I'm talking about with a flower that's mostly there. So I'm going to tuck that behind and no one will ever know. And then here's that center you saw me cut out. So what I'm going to focus on is my stamping. It's just the Merry Christmas, and that's from the Poinsettia Petal stamp set. And I always have a bag of scraps just here, and surely there's thick enough one. Watch, there won't be today. Wait, maybe down here. That one might be thick enough. Okay, so you can do this a couple different ways. As you see on this card here, I separated the Merry and the Christmas, and I achieved that just by using a marker to ink up the stamp and separating the words. So first I inked up Christmas, then I cleaned the stamp really well, and then I inked up Merry and cleaned the stamp really well. And that way I was able to get bigger separation between the 2 words so that I could cut them out separately. Because as you can see, these, the Merry and the Christmas are practically touching, so you couldn't just cut the paper. Another way you can do is you can, you know, if you don't mind cutting, you can cut all the way around the words and make a nice little saying that way. But I think I'm going to stick with this one. I think it fits nicely on the card. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp the whole sentiment. And I'm doing that in soft suede. My husband just honked in the driveway. Is he trying to take my attention? Okay, he's trying to start his car that he hasn't driven in months. So I will pause this video now while my husband fixes his car. Oh, he's done. You know, with COVID, that car hasn't been driven ever, and he's finally got to actually take it in. So he's trying to start it to get it to the shop because it hasn't worked, because it's just been sitting. So it's kind of got, the mechanic said he's getting a lot of cars like that where they haven't been driven. So they're starting to just need tune-ups and things, and maybe an oil change, maybe a battery boost. I don't know. Okay, so here is my Merry Christmas. Another reason why I like to do the full thing if I can is because it's with a marker. It's on photopolymer stamps. It's hard to get as clean of a image with a marker because you're just kind of going back and forth and not sticking it full force into a pad. So I think it looks nice, but I think it looks even nicer when you get them all together. So I'm going to have to practice that. I bet if I used the Stamparatus, I could have cleaned that up nicely, but I was in too much of a hurry. So you can take your time and do it like this. It is nice, and you can get a nice little curled ribbon. Okay, so let's put this together. Another part of the dies that you get are some leaves, so you can decide to add some gold leaves behind. That would be nice. Or there's a little sprigs here, and I don't know where the sprig die is. Oh, here it is. But I've already cut some out. It's this one that's included. So you have 2 different little sprigs here. This one goes with the stamped image, and this one you can use without the stamped image. So I've got that. And then I'm using some ribbon that has a little gold in it too, and I really like this ribbon. But I bet you can find, if you don't have this one, you can find some really pretty ribbon This one is going to be on sale also, so if you get a chance, take a look. It's part of a combo pack. There's a red and a green. It's called Trimming the Town, and you want to grab that if you can. So to put the ribbon down, I like to kind of just give myself a little globby area of glue, adhesive, and then I'm just going to kind of fold my ribbon back and forth. And you can get loopy and messy or neat and tidy, whatever you want to do, whatever you're looking for. Okay, and next I'm going to go ahead and put down my flowers. Well, one of them. I'm going to put the under one, the one that's only half a flower, I'm going to put that down first. I'm going to lay that one completely flat. So I'm going to make sure that that edge is tucked away. And then this one I'm going to put up on dimensionals. Making sure that I cover that cut line of the bottom flower. Okay, I did. And then I like to put the dimensionals kind of close to the center, that way I have space to tuck this in. So I'm going to go ahead and add a little adhesive to the back of this, and then just kind of tuck the sprigs into the behind the poinsettia. Kind of tuck it in there. And I had another one somewhere. There it is. So this is a really fast card to put together if you're going to be needing a lot of cards for Christmas. There we go. And place this. Okay, and then this little guy, I'm going to find a mini dimensional. For him. Isn't that pretty? And it was so easy. It took seconds. So I'm going to do the inside. So I've got Merry Christmas on the outside, and I'm going to do a soft suede matte piece. And I'm going to grab one of the other sentiments from the inside. For the inside, it says warm wishes from our home to yours. And I'm going to put that on this one. I hope I just didn't put my head under the camera. I've been doing that a lot this week. Okay, so dark now. Oh, I didn't cut this one right. I wanted this one to be a 1/4 of an inch smaller, so let me run and trim this edge off. There we go. So now I want to add, now these are full flowers, so I'm going to, and you can see this one cut out with the die, and because it was the exact one that matches the die, but this one didn't, and I cut it out anyway, so you can still kind of cut this out if you don't mind fussy cutting. Then go ahead and cut those out. Now I'm going to look for another one, probably this one, that I can cut out for an edge. There's one. Let's see what else looks small. don't want two that are the same. That's different. Maybe this one, because it's got more of the center flower. I will speed up my cutting on this so you don't have to watch me cut out a little tiny flower. If you wanted, you could even use a little scrap of the pine. Can't decide if I want to do that or not. I think I want to make it simple. Okay. So I'm going to leave the bottom blank so that I can write something to who I'm sending it to. So I will add my little flower flourishes to the sides or the top. Okay, there you go. There is your poinsettia card. I hope that you like it. I hope that you've gotten some tips for tucking in some half pieces and using up all those little missing flowers that only have bits and pieces left over. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying my poinsettia series of cards, and I hope that you check out the stamps and the sale that starts tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Bye.